Good morning and welcome to Friday. It's not Friday Live. Workbench Wednesday special edition live. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Okay, so I'm trying something new. I do need a sound check. Hey, JB, if you guys can let me know how my sound sounds, I would appreciate it. Hopefully you can hear me. Currently on, good, thanks JB, I appreciate that. I'm currently on my main computer over here on one workbench, but shortly I'm going to move to the workbench over there where I have a second computer, but it's a laptop and the video card in it is terrible. So I'm going to be operating off of this computer, but I'm going to be monitoring and typing when necessary off or watching chat on the other computer. So, oh, Willow Creek, welcome. Hey, Dwight, good to see you. All right, so I think that's it. Well, let me show one thing first, and it is this. Okay, I'm going to be working on the 36-inch Tichy Icing platforms. Okay, and where that passenger train is currently sitting is actually the icing track. All right, and there is space between it and the backdrop, even though it doesn't look like there is. So let's move that train out of the way just so I can show you what I am talking about. And and alrighty, I'm just connecting the throttle. There we go. Why is the throttle not connecting? There we go. All right, turn that on. I want to. That's not on the loco. There we go. And the people I haven't had a chance to charge up. Okay. So there you can see now where the platform will go. Shit, I lost connection. Okay, so now you can see the platform or the area. This is where the 36 inches, it'll be about 30 inches of icing platform will be, and it'll be screwed down to take that little bend out of the wood. It'll have a plaster-like coating on it and be hooked up to power so that there will be lights on the platform. But that's what we're going to be working with. So let's now go over to this camera where we can work on this uh, model, this kit. So let's make sure I still have good sound as I come over here. All right. And all right. So hello, Mower Man. Welcome. Did I miss anybody else snuck in on me while I was busy jibber jabbering? All right. So this is a rather easy but um, long to do repetitive kit. Let's put it that way. And here are the instructions. Bend them up. And there's basically two parts, actually three parts, to building the kit. Building these supports, then adding the drop-down platforms, to those supports, and it eventually ends up looking like this. There's a time delay on here. So there's what it ultimately ends up looking like. And it says you can have up to 6 icebox reefers. I'll probably be able to put 5 because there will be one set of platforms that I will not be adding to it because of distance. And here you get to see what the floor structure looks like. So there's a pretty long delay. Floor structure and roof. Then they do supply some construction paper for the tar paper on the roof. So I've got my sanding block out. I've got a file. I've got my nippers. I have a X-Acto with a new blade. We're ready to go. But basically, let me show you what happens first. The first thing you do is cut out 3 parts from each of these pieces here. Okay? And it's the supports and the leg. Okay? So we simply do this. Like that. feet. Okay. And we get our first set of supports. I dropped. All right. And that's basically how easy that is. Now, with that said, whoopie, I don't think I have the feet level. All right, so there's 25 of these that have to be made. So there's one. And then it's just rinse and repeat. What we'll do is I will get enough to do the first floor section. And we can then get the idea how it's built. And I can do the rest offline throughout the course of the week. And next week we can do the assembly of those sections. Boy, I'm fumble fingered today. This is probably going to be a somewhat of a boring stream, but hey, we got to finish these things somehow, right? Yeah, and most of you know that I did or was out in California over the weekend in Fresno. Believe it or not, I like Fresno. It's all the nice things of California without all the nasty, as many nasty. The weather is very similar to here in Oklahoma City. Let me cut one of these sections free. The kit also even comes with the ice blocks. And I bought some mini prints, ice platform workers with their big, well, I don't know what they're called, kind of like a big crowbar thing that they manhandle the ice with into the icebox reefer bunkers. So to do these, all right, it takes 4 per platform. Okay, 4 per platform. And they'll just go on like that. And feed them through at an angle. They fit like that. So we're going to take those out for a second. Feed it back in. There we go. Two more. Yeah. So watching glue dry. Yippee! So, you want to watch it 25 times, actually 50 times. The reason I did this one live is because I was in Fresno. I didn't have time to work on this or video it and get the editing done and such in time for today. So therefore, here we are. And Joe, did you buy anything on the Gustav hobbies last night? I know I bought something, but I can't remember what it was. It was impulse buys, that's for sure. What you doing? And everybody, here goes my wife. She says hi to everybody. And I like working on a glass countertop, both for cutting purposes and for gluing. no matter how many times I tell my wife I go live on Fridays at 10:30, and I have a premiere on Wednesdays at 10:30. Doesn't matter. She always forgets. But hey, it is what it is, right? Normally on Wednesdays I can edit, or on video, and other times I can edit it out. So Joe didn't find anything from Carol. Oh, Joe, I'm proud of you. I've put one of these kits together before. I had the Walters Icing Ice House and Platform um, in Florida. The but I put Walters. You can't buy the expansion platforms. They're out of those and haven't made them for a while. So I used the Tichy kit. I'm building now, and the challenge back then, and C&EI John can attest to it, was it was built across the drop down section. So the um, the roof line with the lights underneath it, uh, there was a gap in it, okay, which caused light bleed. And C&EI John is a stickler on light bleed. But I finally figured out how to overlap the cardboard or the construction paper shingles, and where it would where it would close up and stop the light. All right. I have one more to do on this section, and there are uh, 5 sections. It's a 6-section kit, but I got to build 5 sections. But what we're going to do here is I am going to just finish this stage for this section. And I should probably go ahead and put on and give you an idea of the railing and uh, platform drop down. Because off of the icing platform, the rails would also, they're solid and regular railings. And the solid railings would drop down and create a platform where the ice could be slid right off to the top of the box car. All right. Now, if you ever want to build a fun bridge, 4 years ago, JD and Ray Mobile and Pavel and Rick all built. I think they were Tichy bridges. and um, they're a lot like this in that they're not that hard per se, but it's a lot of repetitiveness to it. I use MEK substitute for my solvent, my glue solvent. It's the same as the ingredient. Um, yeah, it's the same as the ingredients that is in the orange bottle of Clastra, not the white. And it's a heck of a lot cheaper. But the state of California will tell you MEK is linked to cancer. Of course, I think water's been linked to cancer. So. All right. So there is our first section. And yes, I know the sound's off. The picture has probably a 10-second delay. That's because I'm working off of the two different computers. All right, so now let's go ahead and we can finish off this one section by adding the railings and the drop down platform. But before I add the drop down platform in the down position, I want to make sure that the icebox reefers will clear it. It's one of the reasons I added the plywood base for it that I showed in the beginning of the stream. As a side note, I did purchase the full version of AnyRail 7, and I'm starting to learn how it works so that I can start doing some playing with designs for the shed layout, which is 2 years away, so don't get too excited. But I want to be able to refine the layout so that when I do get the shed, I can start building right away and not be stuck designing still. All right, so it does come with cross members that have to be put into place. And one tool I need that I didn't get out in advance is the tweezers. Right there like that. Let's go ahead. So this screw is empty. Throw it away. No, I'm building an icing platform, Jack. But it does have shades of Robert the Flying Crow's oil platforms, doesn't it? Same thing repeatedly. We'll have to get a hold of Robert and make mention of that to him. If he didn't get his fill of watch or doing his oil platform, if he wants to know how everybody else felt watching him build those, come on over and watch me. I had the pleasure of meeting Robert last January in person. We met up in Tulsa. And we were operating Steve Davis's ACS layout. I don't know how Robert has an affinity for ACS. I'm going to wait and paint this after it's all said and done. I'm glad I've done this one before. I've built this before. You know how when you build a kit for the first time, there's always one little thing you wish you would have done differently. Well, for me, it was these cross members. I waited till I tried to put them on standing up, and it was just a pain. And by doing it in this fashion, It seems to be much easier. And these little pieces are pretty fiddly and delicate. I can flip it over. I promise next week's part 2 in this series will not be live. I will have all the sections built. A little more for this. Then we can work on the railing and platform. After I go check the height on this. Like I say, I'd like to be able to put the wooden decking, the drop down wooden deckings, I'd like to have those in a down position. It's got to get built with them in a down position. It's just a matter of whether I have to change the and shim up off of the base I have planned. It's empty. Hmm. Let's go over to the other side and check our height. And we will switch cameras to here. This will be going right there. All right, now I need a ice box reaper. There's one right back here. I think it's going to work as long as it is straight across and they're not drooping. Yeah, it should work fine. Let me put one on and we'll bring it back and look again. Do, 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 do. Here's an interesting thing. Take a look at the instructions. And it's showing. It shows them all in the up position. I don't like that. In the up position, they just simply be glued standing up. I would rather have them down. So I think I'm going to nip out the corners here. Yeah. See if this works. Just take a little corner out. And, you know, it's probably be even better just to file it. A little kit bash to it. I don't know if you can see it or not. taking that little corner out like that. And make it easier to glue into place. Like so. This actually. You have to take a little ridge off of here. Okay. Try this again. And it seems like it's going to work. I just hung this camera today, this morning, so we got a couple of railings to go on. On the opposite side. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Bear with me a little bit more. Let's check her out again. Get this last one on. I'm surprised they don't have a methodology outlined in the instructions to have these platforms in the down position, which they would have to be in if they're loading ice, right? Now, as far as the height, we'll make a determination during the final assembly when I put it onto the base in some weeks to come as to whether it needs additional height and to be shimmed up. All right, let's take it back over again. It's going to be a little bit of a shim. All right, so, hi, Ellen. It's a special live edition of Workbench Wednesday. Since I wasn't here over the weekend to do the filming and editing, all right, decided to do it live. And as you can see, the platform's just barely clear that icebox reefer. So I'm probably going to add a little bit of a shim to it. All right, and just to make sure. That is the first of 5 sections that I have to do. And so I'll continue on and get those others caught up. And then we will look at the electrical and, well, maybe mounting to the platform, to the piece of the strip of wood I have that I'm going to mount it on. So I probably need to do that before I add the electrical for the lighting under that roof. Okay. I wasn't home to record or edit, Lynn, so I had to do it live. Okay. Well, I'm glad my earbuds worked while I worked at the bench on the other end of the garage, and because the other PC, the laptop sound, it's all crackly. It's bad. But the good news is, in a couple of weeks, I should be bringing back my other computer for my son, who was rebuilding it for me, and because it went out shortly after we moved here, or back here to Oklahoma City. And yes, Andy, it is Oklahoma. So I didn't play that today, but that's okay. All right, everybody, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad Workbench Wednesday, episode 16, part 1 of the Tichy 36-inch icing platform. So with that, y'all have a great day. Bye now.